What's goody? What's goody?
What's going on? What's going on? Get my notes up and get ready for this show.
Wait a minute. You already starting getting notes from a coach going. You know we gonna drop it since you said it.
What time is?
Listen, I'm telling you, hey, divine intervention, divine intervention. I just want to let everybody know if y'all haven't copped that notes from a coach, make sure you go check that out. Notesfromacoach.org. She got the workbook. She got the hard copy. You get it on Amazon. You get that bad boy in paperback. Talk to him, see. Talk to him.
Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, we're live with it, and we ready with the workbook, so you can do a combination. You can get the book and get the workbook. We also have a journal, a planner rather, that you can utilize. It has daily motivational quotes in it for you every day that you journal about your day or plan out your day. And I'm working on getting that as a digital version of that. So people in technology, you want to have it on your phone. So I'm working on that project. But yeah, the workbook is live. And so we appreciate notesfromacoach.org, trying to make it a brand, make it known. And yeah, check us out. Please check us out.
It's in the chat. Y'all can check that out. Notesfromacoach.org. Go on and click the link. Let it take you over there and see what's up. Help somebody. Be a blessing to yourself or somebody else. I definitely like the aspect of journaling for sure.
For sure.
Everybody needs that.
Everybody needs that. Write it down, get it out. It's just an expression. It helps you.
Exactly. And that leads me into the update on Brittany Griner. Been seeing a lot of WNBA players put out there that they have played in Russia themselves. They love playing in Russia, and they're just praying that Russia has compassion on Brittany Griner in the situation to get her back home, because there are so many of our athletes that go there, play there, and some have lives there and then come back here. Diana Taurasi 1 year went there and forewent the WNBA season to stay and play in Russia.
I remember that. Yep. I remember that. I was like, wow, she's not. But I understood about the finances. It was big for her. And then to rest her body, to go back and back, 2 seasons back to back was tough. So how she did. That was big. That was big. So
Exactly.
I was wondering, like, when you had mentioned something that they were doing, I mean, are they going back? Or are they boycotting or what?
That is a great question. Now let's open our minds up to that. Being that she was in that situation and that she's still currently in that situation, and we know the ramifications for what can happen if you get caught up over there for anything. Anything can happen on any given day. Do you not go play there when that could make more money for you than your salary in your home country? What do you do? Because we see athletes from other countries come here because we pay more, we pay better, and that's on the men's side more than likely. But the freedom and everything that we have here, they come here. So, do you see the dynamic there, or what's your thoughts?
I mean, people have to make money. They have a livelihood to support. They have families to support. So they got to do what they got to do. I mean, I don't know if I was in that situation. Just, I guess you got to do the right thing. Like, just know you got to go over there and you have to do the right thing in terms of whatever their rules are. I'm a traveler, and to go to another country, I believe you need to study and know their customs, know their laws. So when you visit those countries, you are, adhering to the laws of that country. So it's important to do that. I mean, and then we talk about the speculations of did she really do it or whatever. So I mean, just be careful and be mindful. I can't blame anybody if they go back to go work to make money. It's life.
Yeah, right. And as just today, Iman Shumpert was arrested in the Dallas airport for being caught with marijuana on them in the states in Dallas. That just happened today.
Wow, you gotta. Wow, I'm just
TMZ
like,
reported. Hollywood
hey,
Unlocked
TMZ
reported. When
said.
you're getting in is.
Right. TMZ reported it's real. They gonna make sure it's real. Well, I mean, I hope it's not a major charge. I know in America, we have so many different cities and states rather that it is legalized. I don't think Texas is one of them. You being an Aggie, I'm sure Texas is not one of those states yet. So you gotta be mindful. You gotta move different. You just gotta move different.
Yeah,
Get you a
that's
plug in the state you're going to. I don't know, you gotta move different.
yeah. And listen, even in let's keep it basketball news. UConn. What do you think that new outlook is? Because their star player Paige Burkers went down with an ACL injury. What
Out for the
happens
year,
next?
right?
Out for the year. What happens?
Let me tell you something. I'm not sure of what Gino's recruiting class for the 2023. I didn't study that yet, but what it looks like, and I mean they're big freshmen, but his freshmen are like top tier freshmen, so it's a little different. But I know what I know when she went down last year, they looked like a regular team, like an average team, like they were being beat by people or in tough contests with people that we normally. Now, one we can say that there was parity in the league, and other coaches and other teams are recruiting talent and developing talent to rise to the occasion. Shout out to the South Carolina ladies winning their national championship again like that. So we know that other programs are rising to the occasion, but that's big for UConn to lose her. She means a lot for them. But bigger than that, what does these injuries say about her future, her ability to play a sustained career, as we talk about her moving into the professional ranks? I know she's a little thin frame, so I don't know if that has something to do with her injuries. Being at UConn, you're getting the best training, the best of everything, I'm sure. So what does that say about her future, T?
Oh, that is a great question. And I think you may have peaked. I think you went where probably GMs at the next level are looking now because, all right, freshman year you took an injury, sophomore year you took an injury. It's like, whoa, we've seen consistent injuries now. So now it's going to be about how does she bounce back? And you talk about that frame, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Frame, that's genetics. We can't change that. We could try
Yeah,
to make it stronger, we could try to make it faster, but how much stronger and faster would she be? Staying healthy is very important, especially when you're trying to get to the next level. And we know that the women can come out after their junior season. So now does
right.
that change the dynamic where she could have potentially been thinking, stay 3 years, go to the league? Now does that turn into a stay four, go? Because now the dynamic has pretty much shifted.
Well, that injury to me changes that perspective. Even if she was considering that, T, one, we don't make that type of money. You know what I
Right.
mean? To say I'm just going, and then that, I mean, who doesn't want to be in? I mean, I don't know what it's like, but UConn, like you're college town, like you're getting the best of the best. So that may extend her time at UConn. Like now do I get another year back, to stay there longer to develop more? That's how you got to look at it. I don't foresee her leaving early to take advantage of it. It's not like the guys yet. Like we're not making that type of money to say I'm gonna leave and jump out here. I'm sure she will earn her degree early or on time, so she'll have that. But I don't see her leaving. I think she'll come back, play a little bit longer, get that 4 years out with UConn and build up that body and frame and go out and then be a pro.
Hey, you know what? And what comes into effect also NIL. We didn't have that in the
Woo!
past, but we got it now.
Now we got it.
She's probably one of those players that took advantage of the NIL, and I can't say take advantage of it's not saying that in a bad way,
Right.
but one of the players that it benefited to have that because now, if I have an NIL deal and I'm hurt, I'm not saying I'm not worried. I still want to play because it's in my heart, it's my passion, but I'm cooling though. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm feeling a little good about things. My perspective is cloudy. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right, right. I'm not that pressed. And then the wordplay, like you said, using the word like benefit from is a much better in terms of how people may interpret it. So yeah, I think she's definitely one of those players that have benefited and will continue to benefit from the NIL. And Kudo, I have no qualms, no problems at all with that. None.
Yep, exactly. And let's talk about speaking of the UConn taking a loss, the basketball world in general. The entire basketball world just took a loss with the passing of the 11-time NBA champion, Hall of Famer Bill Russell.
Yes.
Devastation, man. I mean, you know what? When you have the GOAT conversations, I know we MJ, LeBron, Kobe, but at the top of the list, everybody talking about them rings. How can you leave them out?
I mean, you can't leave him out, but for me, prayers for his family. He's definitely was up in age, but we hate to lose a legend like that. But for me, he meant more because of his willingness to step out and deal with social issues and stand up for others who couldn't stand up for themselves. He used his platform. And so when you talk about great players and their legacies, it goes beyond what they did on the playing field to me. And I'm not saying that that's my opinion. You know,
Yep.
what are you using your platform for? Are you using your platform to elevate? So people like the great Muhammad Ali will forever be, you know, because he used his platform to benefit other people, to make awareness, to bring awareness to different social issues. So great Bill, man, like a great man. He went out and he really used his platform for other people. So he had the numbers, he had the rings, all that stuff was there. But to say that I'm gonna go out there and use my platform for other people, that's what makes him a great man to me.
And think about the time that he used his platform in, because the time in, we people that look like you and I weren't allowed in certain places, and he played in Boston, where
Right,
you see many debates where people are like the fans in Boston are racist. He
right,
played at Boston, and
right, right.
to thrive in that
Right.
environment. So I love what he stood for, a gentle giant, but guess what? Stood his ground, didn't bite his tongue, had a job to do, did his job, but also made a way for his people that came after him. So absolutely prayers to his family, in the entire basketball world, because he opened the door for
Yeah.
so many of us in all aspects of everything.
And like Coach, he said, yeah, he made his time count. Yeah, he
Absolutely.
made his time count. In the
Hey, that's
words of the great, legendary late Miss Pender, Coach P, make your time count. You know,
gonna say that that's one from her coaching branch, Mr.
yeah,
Brandon.
yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Brandon from
Brandon,
Coach
yeah.
Pender's coaching tree. Always great to see you on, supporting us. Much love, much love. Appreciate it.
And
And
talk about coaching tree in South Florida. We had some news in South Florida with Coach.
Mr. George Adams.
Yeah,
George Adams, yes.
talk about it. Talk about it.
Stepped away from Calvary, stepped away from Calvary. You know what? Was building that program up, saw a difference. You saw more people supporting, you saw the type of players that were coming out of there. And you know what? To me, he went against the odds. And what I mean by that is they are very selective of who they bring into their school. And he was able to put together a team of young women that went out, won games, and was really starting to develop. So what's next for Coach Adams? I
I
still think he
don't
got
know.
something in the tank. I still think he got something in the tank. I
I
don't think
think he got
he's
something in the tank. I don't know. Will we see him revisit that blue and white over there?
that blue and gray.
The blue and gray, that blue, gray, and white over there. Like, will we see that, in the works? We love you too, Coach. Coach B, we love you, man. Appreciate you so much. But will we see him back over there on the sidelines? Yeah, like Coach say, we don't think he's done yet either. I think he's got a lot more basketball. He definitely has a lot more to teach these young ladies. So I really hope it's not the end of it. I hope he has, I hope he ends up on somebody's sideline and continues that
Definitely,
tradition of greatness.
definitely will. Definitely will. Without further ado, listen, we're gonna bring up our special guest. I got that Aggie on because we bringing in the Aggie. You feel me?
Hey.
Hey,
Hey,
we got Danielle Gant joining us. Appreciate you. How you doing? How you
no
doing?
problem. I appreciate y'all. I'm good. I can't complain. Can't complain.
Welcome, welcome.
Appreciate it.
So listen, Danielle, we want you to tell everybody who you are in about 2 minutes. Tell us, who is Danielle Gant? What is she about?
Danielle Gant is about hard work, giving back to the community, making sure the kids have something to look forward to in the future. That's who Danielle Gant is.
That's
Ooh,
what's
I
up.
like it. I
I
like
like
it.
that. I like that. So Danielle, who would you say was most influential in your basketball career and your athletic development?
I would say my brother. He actually got me started to even playing basketball. I didn't start playing till the 8th grade. So
Wow.
he's the one who put the ball in my hand. So I would say my brother.
Okay, so now late bloomer, late bloomer. All right, so we gonna dig into this
Yeah.
because you get a lot of stories about, I've started playing since I was 4, so it's like, man. But talk about being a late bloomer. See, the one thing that you had that I didn't have, you 5'11".
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Oh.
right. Um, you know what? It actually started in PE. I guess one of the coaches wanted me to play, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to play. So he ended up talking to my brother, and so from there on, it was a situation where I just fell in love with it. As soon as I touched the ball, it was like, okay, this is what I want to do. So that's how I really knew like basketball was something that I, wanted to do.
Okay. All right. So tell us what does crossover mean in your life? What is the crossover? What has the crossover been to you?
Whoa. The crossover for me is basically transitioning from that athlete to a businesswoman, or even what can I say? Danielle. You know what I'm saying? It was basketball, and for me, the transition is when I stopped playing. So it was tough. It was tough, but the transition was something that I needed, and that's when the transition happened, basically.
That's what I was going to ask you. So, what type of obstacles did you face making that transition? Crossing over.
Oof. It- I faced a lot. Now, granted, I had my parents who allowed me to, come home, but for me, it was a situation when basketball was finished. I had no clue what was next, so I felt bad. I felt embarrassed just because I was Danielle Gant at Texas A&M, and now I'm just Danielle. You get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it was hard to transition, but I think the biggest thing for me was after I got done. That's when I really started understanding who I was. But the transition was hard. It was hard. It was hard.
Now, let me ask you this: when you were at A&M, because it's basketball, basketball, basketball. Did you ever think about like what would be next once that ball stopped bouncing? Because I went through the same thing, and many people that we bring on the show, we all say the same thing. We share that same common thing, like we don't know what to do. So when
Mhm.
you were there, did that thought ever cross your mind?
It did not. It did not. It did not cross my mind one bit. It was just WNBA, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
So I think we gotta introduce. I mean, I'm hearing something that continues to resonate throughout all of our interviews
Hmm.
with our guests is that like the preparation, you know, for that transition, because the ball is gonna stop bouncing for everyone at some time.
Hmm.
And so and it doesn't mean that you can't go on and have an illustrious career,
Right.
but still prepare yourself. And so I think starting early with the grassroots kids, even the collegiate kids, young adults rather, preparing them to say what are your thoughts
Hmm.
after you finish playing. If it's 10 or 12 years from now, still, what are your thoughts? So I think that's something we definitely got to keep hitting on and really try to get implemented into to this basketball or this sports arena.
Right. No, I agree, because, like you said, I'm sure I've talked to people as well, and it's like they had no clue what to do after. So it's a situation. I don't know where it starts though. Does it start with the college coaches, or is this an at home thing?
Well, both. I mean, but I mean, I'm gonna speak from a high school coach's perspective first. I just got it. I got it because I came from humble background. So I'm a high school coach as well. So I tell my kids like the
Hmm.
ball will stop bouncing.
Right.
And I'm a type of person that I believe in learning not just from my own mistake, but learn from the mistakes of others. I see great athletes
Hmm.
who, when the ball stops bouncing, whether it's from the field, from the diamond, or from the court, they don't know what to do. They're lost. And so I started when I became a coach, just implementing that and telling my girls, listen, the ball is going to stop bouncing. What are you planning to do after that? And so that's something I believe starts at home as
Yeah.
well as with the high school coach.
Yeah.
Can I be devil's advocate just because I like to make sure we
Yeah,
cover all
yeah.
bases? So I'm gonna be the athlete that doesn't like to listen. So I'm gonna be that player that's like, nah, it's WNBA or nothing, or it's NBA or nothing, or it's NFL or nothing. Like I'm gonna make it.
Uh-huh.
How do we break through to that athlete? Because that's the athlete that it happens to a lot. Like, because we all have this thought in our minds that we are going to make it. We're going to play for like ever, forever, ever.
Yeah.
And it's not the reality. So, how do we break through that mindset of like, hey, that ball is going to stop bouncing? I mean, plenty of times for me, one of my aunts that has passed away, she told me don't play basketball straight up. She said, don't play. It's not enough money. Don't play. And I was like, Auntie, this is what I do. Like, I love this.
Yeah.
Don't play. She told me to play tennis. I'm like, I've never played tennis before. But it's like, man, when you look at it in hindsight, like, man, Auntie was onto something. And I didn't listen. So
Right.
do we capture them when they have a platform? Because now, Danielle, everybody got an NIL deal going on. Like, I mean, you just missed it.
I know, barely.
Well, that
Um,
helps them too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Danielle, what do you think? I mean, the NIL would have helped you transition, right?
oh yeah, definitely. I feel like it would have helped me not just one with basketball after basketball for one, endorsements for two, and just being around the game. I think it would have allowed me to still have my foot in the door some kind of way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do believe that.
And the connections that you make from those
Yeah, for sure.
deals, you can take it even after you leave. You know people. You can't just not know them anymore. You've met them. You have their phone number. You have their emails. You have their contacts. So whatever adventure you get into after, like that's a phone call away. That's a
Right.
networking. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I would be.
have you been able to tap into Aggie Nation? Right, we we're from the same cloth. You know, I got Coach Blair his first season at A&M. You know, have you been able to stay connected with Aggie Nation, and has it helped you?
What do you like? Meaning like with the coaches or just
Yeah,
like going back
coaches, people, everybody. Have you seen the support that Aggie Nation provides?
for their players?
Yeah, for
For
just students
players?
in general. Students in general.
Um, I talk to them occasionally,
Okay.
honestly. Let me see where I want to go with this. I talk to occasionally. Do I feel like there should be more support? Yes. I did feel like that. Probably like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I did feel like that just because I went there and I gave everything I had. I was, dedicated, committed, and I love the game. But now that I'm grown, I feel like I can't expect anything. So have I kept in contact with them? Yes, but I'm okay where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? It sucks because I do feel like Gary Blair, one phone call and I'm in the door. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like now I'm where I need to be. So I'm not too much pressed on that, but no and yeah.
That
Well,
Yeah.
makes
tell people where are you now? What are you doing now?
I'm actually in Fort Worth, Texas. I am the head coach at ILT Texas, the high school, and I actually do basketball training on the side as well. So I'm a physical education teacher and the basketball coach at that high school.
All right.
Yeah,
in Texas, you gotta be a teacher, and you have to be a teacher in order to coach, correct? Or you
yeah,
have to work in the schooling system. Is that correct?
yes. Like I'm at a charter school, so it's a little different than a different school. Like at a charter school, like I don't need my teacher certification. I can still coach and teach. But at some schools, I do believe you can just coach. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I believe some of their. I'm not sure about the other sports, but I know football is big there, and
Mm-hmm.
some of their football coaches just coach. They don't teach. They
Okay.
just coach. So
Yeah.
I know that for a fact because
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about it with my coach, like how big Texas football is. It's like
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and I feel like this is where I should be. This is where I
Yeah.
should be. Yeah. For
Well,
sure.
see, now you got to start that grassroots transition for your players about their plans and as they move and progress through this game
Right.
of life, not just the game of basketball, but this game of life,
Mm-hmm.
and giving them that knowledge about preparation and making sure they make the steps for what's after this game, this
Right.
basketball game. So
Right.
we wear some we walk in some heavy shoes
Right.
as to me it's a big role to play. So definitely commend you and wishing you the best on that journey, because it's a journey.
I appreciate it. You know, one thing that I started that last year, like even with my non-athletes, like, hey, what's next? What are you gonna do? And it's just because I've been through it. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I've been through it, and it's something that I do push on my kids. So thank you for that. I will definitely continue to do that, even with the boy side of things as well, for
sure.
sure. Yeah, yeah, definitely, for sure.
So
So
tell us about your crossover from Texas A&M to being drafted to the WNBA. What was that like?
It was a dream come true. Honestly, just being able to, because I was back at home in Oklahoma City, I didn't even know if I was going to get drafted. My family had this big party, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if they don't call my name? And so I'm just sitting there, and eventually they ended up calling my name, and it was a blessing because I had been speaking about this since the eighth grade, since I picked up the basketball. So
Mhm.
that transition was good. I learned a lot, just knowing that it's not guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that we all know. It's like, oh, I made it. Oh, they didn't call my name. You know, I'm in there, but it's a situation where it's not guaranteed. So for me, that crossover, making it was a blessing. But getting cut, that's when the transition, the real crossover actually started. Trying to
Ooh,
figure out what was next. Yeah.
because after you get drafted, it turns into business.
Right.
Business.
Now I didn't have nobody around that knew anything about it. So I went in there basically blindsided, just me on the plane, and I'm in Chicago.
Right.
That's that was it.
To
That
deal
was
with the business of
yes,
things, because you could have very well went in there, Danielle, and outplayed everybody at your position.
hmm
Hands down, you could have very well went in there and did that. But
yeah,
that still doesn't mean that you got a spot, because it's business.
it
mhm.
is. It is. You know, one thing I'm gonna say is one thing.
Yeah.
Someone who got drafted like right before me to the same team, she didn't have to practice at all. And I'm like, well,
Wow.
how you know she can even beat me? You know what I'm saying? So that's when it did click like, okay, it's a business. So yeah.
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 Always, it's a hierarchy in everything. And,
Yeah,
no
you're
matter what you do, there's a hierarchy, and you try to not. One thing you said, I like what you said though. You, without saying that you're mature, but your brain and your mindset matured to where you said, "Let me stop expecting anything from
right.
anyone." When you're talking about Texas A&M, and
Yeah.
so the same thing in terms of that role when you come in, people need to stop looking and saying, well, this person is not doing that. And sometimes we point the finger, well, she didn't have to practice, but I got to do it. No, let me just deal with what I control, what I can control. Let me go put in the work the way I have to put in the work. I can't worry about her situation. Like you said, it's a business transaction now.
Mm-hmm.
So let
Yep.
me focus on that. So yeah,
Yep.
it's big.
Yep. Right on the head.
That's big. Yeah. So what legacy? What does your legacy mean? Like you played at Texas A&M. Now you're coaching. You've been in the WNBA. What does your legacy mean to you?
It means a lot. And you know what? It took me maybe just 2 years ago for me really to sit down and really just accept that I've completed all these things.
Mm,
I don't know why it took me that long, but my legacy, it means a lot. Like not too long ago, I was just inducted into the Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City. And so like things like that, I am now like, hey, that's me. You know what I'm saying? I used to say I didn't go to Texas. I didn't used to talk about Texas A&M a lot, but I made it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's big. It's big. It's
that's
big.
all right. That's a big thing.
Yeah, it's big. I don't know why I used to hide it, but now I love it. I accept everything that I've accomplished.
I mean, and the legacy isn't over. You're just
Right.
building another chapter onto it, so it will continue. But that's good. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
And I think a lot of times as athletes, because we're always taught next play,
Mhm.
don't celebrate those victories. I
Yeah.
think that's it follows us as we get older.
Yeah.
So when we get these victories, we be like on to the next.
Yeah.
And you have to really sit down and say, man, I did a lot. Like when
Yeah.
you really look at it and really bask in it, because I still don't do it now. I have to make Carla do it too. She won't do it. So it's something
It's
that's
on to the next
instilled
thing.
in us. Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be like on to the next. So
But we
you're
should
not
though.
alone.
You right.
Exactly. We
That's
really
one thing.
should.
I agree with you, Dan. Like I'm working on it. I've always been humble. And I try to stay that way, but just sit back and think about it, yeah, and be okay and
Yeah.
appreciate and acknowledge yourself for what you have done.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that. Stay humble, pat yourself on the back, and enjoy that what you have accomplished.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Tell us, all right. So a lot of people see Gary Blair at Texas A&M. They
Uh-huh.
won the national championship. Him and Coach Schaefer together. You see
Mhm.
Coach Schaefer go off to Mississippi State, instantly turn the program around. Goes to
Yes.
Texas, instantly turns the program around. I
Yes.
had the pleasure of playing for them both only for a year, but
Mhm.
you have more time with them. So talk to
Yes.
us about the different dynamic of playing for those two coaches.
You know what? Coach Schaefer is like my favorite coach of all time. Believe it or not,
Yep.
just his passion is contagious. Like when you love the game and you see that coach giving out that much effort and sweat and tears, it's something that you actually grab onto. You know what I'm saying? And so playing for him was a blessing. Like every time I see him playing on TV, I'm like, yeah, I play for him. That's Coach Schaefer. And I try to bring that same intensity to the game when I coach. So that's how much he's rubbed off on me. Coach Blair, Coach Blair was just Coach Blair. He was a good coach. He was a good coach. I'm glad I was able to play for him. Honestly, he did give me the chance and opportunity to even play for Texas A&M. So I loved playing for Coach Blair, but Vic Schaefer, he was my guy. He was my guy. Yeah, 4 years.
Coach Schaefer is like the engine that could. Man, I'm telling you, what she's describing, that's not even the game. That's
Yeah,
practice.
yeah,
That's practice.
Practice.
yes,
It's
yes.
not the game. What you see in the game is just what he does every single day in practice.
Mhm.
Wow.
So can you imagine the intensity that this man brings to practice like that every single
Single
day?
day.
Yes. As soon as he steps on the floor, it's go time. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I love Coach Schaefer. I do.
Get after it.
Yep. I love Coach Schaefer. Yep. Sure.
He's killing it over there at Texas. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean that says a lot. Look. I mean, but I think you guys are you definitely made a great hire. So I think you
Absolutely.
guys are definitely going to be on the cusp of something great over there as well. It's going to be
Yes,
some
I'm
great
totally
Texas battles.
excited. Listen, I am totally excited about Coach Taylor being in Aggie Land. I'm so ecstatic. She got my full support because I want to see us win. And when I say us,
I know
people
what
that
you mean.
look like us three on this portal right now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, for sure.
not only Texas A&M, but we got a black woman that's leading us, and she leads the right way. And I just want to see her succeed and be at the top of the hill. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I agree. And she has us on the staff too. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
that's a good thing too. So yeah.
Exactly. What's your
Well, y'all gotta make
expectations
sure
for
y'all
your
check
upcoming
out.
season?
Y'all gotta check it out this year. Now y'all
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
gotta be in.
Oh yeah.
I'm flying the friendly skies. I'm there. There. What's your outlook on your upcoming season this year?
For my girls, last year I had and I'm at a charter school, and my kids when they come in, they don't necessarily know the game of basketball. And I came in last year a week before the first game. So it was like I didn't have time to practice, nothing, right? And so the beginning of the year bumped our heads. Towards the end though, we actually started diving on the floor for balls, like
Okay.
communicating, talking, rebounding as a team. And to me, this past summer, I had them in the gym twice a week, starting in May, like every Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm excited. I feel like the girls are excited. I have a couple freshman pieces that are going to help. So I think my goal, honestly, we only play 10 games because it's only 10 games, right? So my goal is to win those 10, but if not, go half and half, just because that's a big stepping stone
From where you
for
are.
my girls. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited though. I'm excited. So
It started with the mindset. You came in and you started changing the mindset.
mm-hmm.
And so when they started diving on the floor for balls, that was a mindset shift. And so that was progress in itself. So definitely got to salute them for that. And then you go tackle the next goal. Hey, everybody want to win every game, but if we don't, I'll be happy if we win 50% this year, and then we go up to 60 and
Mm-hmm.
70 and really be competing. So that's the mindset, coach. Bring that mindset and everything will start shifting.
I will. And like they've never had a off-season training practice, so this was their first one when I came in the door. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it for sure.
Man, you said you came in a week before the first
I
game.
did. I
Yeah.
did.
Diving on the floor.
They couldn't dribble.
Yeah. It took you a minute for that.
Yeah.
It took a little minute for that.
Hey, Carly, your girls dive on the floor for those loose balls.
Oh, they diving on the floor now. But I'm saying, like in the beginning, it took a minute for that. But they diving on the floor for the balls, or they sitting on the bench with me,
Ooh,
over there passing the water.
I like it. Last year I had maybe 6 girls, so it wasn't like, oh,
Yeah.
you need to sit down. She knew she was gonna play, but this year,
Yeah. So now you get some competition and practice, and that makes a world of difference.
Yep.
Definitely makes it changes the whole scope of practice.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
got to compete for a spot, or compete for time.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Danielle, how has basketball impacted your life?
It's impacted my life in a big way, just because my name, I'm not sure if this sounds, it rings a bell back in my hometown.
You can sound. Hey, listen, it's not cocky. It's confident. Remember, we celebrate the wins. I know you don't want to celebrate your wins, but go ahead on. It's not cocky.
Yeah, hey, pop your own collar.
But what was the question?
You're in the Hall of Fame, man. Listen, they can't take that away from you. You are in the Hall of Fame. So if you want to pop your collar, pop your collar. You're not gonna be impolitically correct. None of that. Like, be you. That's what we do on this show. We be
Yeah.
us.
Be you.
All right, what was the third question again?
How has basketball impacted your life?
It's impacted it a lot. And I'm gonna jump forward to where I'm at right now. Like, I'm not sure if I didn't have that basketball background that I would have been given this opportunity to be where I'm at right now. But it's impacted my life just because now I'm able to really pass down what I've learned to the next generation. And I think that's just the biggest thing for me. Like, I'm here in this position because I want to give back. Yes, I played basketball, but for me, it's the future. And so for me, basketball has given me the opportunity to coach these young ladies and be able to give back to the guys that I do train. So I think without basketball, I wouldn't be, in this position. And so it's just giving me the opportunity to branch out and to really give back and go beyond basketball, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like, I love the game, but I just want to give back at this point. I do.
You live a life of service.
Yeah.
When you lead with what I can give and not what I can get, that's how you bring blessings onto yourself. And so you sound like you're leading with a life of service, or a service intention. So that's what the greatness will continue to follow you, because you want to give back to others. And that's what it's about, man. Make
It is.
Great.
It is. Like the crossover, like y'all got up there. Perfect title.
And if I could give words of advice to you, don't be afraid to be confident in what you bring to the table, because I sensed it. So I feel you, because I'm guilty of it. Carl is guilty of it. We're humble, and we don't like to brag, but it's not bragging. You're confident. You know who you are. You accomplish what you accomplish. Go ahead, babe. Pop collar.
You earn that. You earn the right to do that.
Definitely. Like, how many people from your hometown are in the Hall of Fame? Exactly.
Not many, especially us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's big, man. That's big. Yeah. So definitely, man. Keep pushing. Like, don't be afraid of that. Walk in that. I'm gonna tell you, though, like Carla said, you come from servant leadership, and I could tell you just want to lead and you're leading with your heart. God just waiting for you to step into it.
You're right.
God,
You're
he's not
right.
hesitating. He waiting for you to step into it. You like, I want to answer it correctly, but I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody's gonna, not everybody's gonna want you to succeed, and that's okay. You're gonna attract the people that want to help you get to where you need to be. So
Yep.
go on and walk in on God's light. He waiting for you, man.
That's
You
deep.
know, I'm getting there. You know, let me say this one thing. Like I'm getting used to speaking out, and I told myself this year is gonna be, hey, I'm gonna speak up. I'm gonna have confidence. And we just had this meeting the other day with all the coaches, and I stood up. I was like, Danielle Gant from Texas A&M. Like I was just so confident, and it made me feel good knowing that I was able to say it with a lot of confidence too.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I was riding the other day and I was thinking about something, and what popped in me, we don't know our voice right away, but you got to recognize your voice and that your voice brings power because of the work that you've put in. So Danielle, walk in that. You already earned that right to speak about certain things because you've put in that work, and a lot of people haven't put in that work. So, hey, we want to say send love to our supporters. My sis Cassandra, you got Holly. I'm assuming Holly is a relative. Y'all got the same last name.
Yeah, that's my wife.
All
Hey.
right. Hey. All right. And my boy Javon always tuning in. And we love you, Coach Mo. We appreciate y'all tuning in with us tonight. But Danielle, before we wrap up, I want to ask you something. If you could go back to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self?
If I can go back to my younger self, like starting in college, or is this the middle
That's
school?
fine. College is fine.
Start.
I would have told myself to let me see.
She got to put the words together right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Repetition. It's all good.
I would have told my younger self basically to do what it is that you really want to do in life. Because once you're out of college, it's on to a whole nother, step. And so for me, I would have went into what it is that I really wanted to do after basketball.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I would have told myself.
Do you think you were able to that branched off to something else in my mind? Do you think you knew what that was and you just didn't do it, or did you not know what it was?
I didn't. I didn't. Nope.
Yeah.
Had no clue what. Had no clue.
All right. So I mean, I think that's where we go back to the other part we were talking about earlier, developing those options and making them aware of those options, and so they can be prepared for that moment, that pivotal moment in life, to be able to say, "Ooh, this is where I'm going." John Maxwell said, and I do a lot of reading, y'all forgive, but I want to say this. John Maxwell, the great leadership coach, he talked about a child lives, their first dream is really their parents or their guardian, who's ever over them dream. Like a lot of guys out there playing pee-wee football, they have no intention. As soon as they can get free from it, they run and they don't want to play no football, or playing basketball. So we live our parents sometimes dream first. Our first dream is from somebody else that's taking care of us. Then we got to be able to step out into our own and really find out, really dig in deep and find out what it is that we really want and what we're passionate about. So that's something that we definitely got to encourage our young people to do, to find out what you're really passionate about and chase that thing like nobody's business, like really chase it hard. Man.
Yep, I agree.
Yep. So, hey, what's up, Nicole? We appreciate you tuning in. I sent that email. You better answer me, girl. Better answer me. Hey, but Danielle, we have what we call the hot cross zone.
Okay.
So seconds, some quick questions, some fire questions we ask you.
Okay.
Just a little fun. Let people get to know you. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, tacos.
All right, taco. All right. So, wait, hard shell or soft shell?
I like the Dorito crunchy ones.
Oh, you want
crunchy like
yeah. All right. So after we eat the tacos, we having dessert or no dessert?
I'm not a dessert person. No dessert.
Yeah,
no
you're gonna
dessert.
get it all in the meal. All right.
Yeah.
And so being 5'11", so you can kind of be in between. You can go down low. You can get outside a little bit, right? So you want to play fast or you want to play slow?
I want to play fast.
Pick them up, press them.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, here go the question that get to you all the time. Point guard, you got to pick your team. Then point guard or post player, who you going with first? Is first pick on the part A. Who I got to get?
I'm getting the guard.
Get your point guard.
Them PGs be represented.
Guard.
Point guard. They gotta have a strong point guard to run the floor, run everything for you. I agree. I definitely agree with you. All right, so here we go. Now you got to make a pick. Now,
okay,
legacy on the line. You know who you got, LeBron or Durant?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with LeBron.
You going with LeBron?
Yeah, I'm going with LeBron.
Can you tell us why you going with LeBron?
Because he's a leader. I feel like you need a strong leader to win games, and LeBron to me.
Right. I mean, he's surrounded now. He's people try to knock him because he's been surrounded by some good players, right? But to be a great player, you got to make everybody else rise up as well. Mm-hmm. And you can see the conflict in because you can see the conflict with him and Russell. With Russell, because it just does, because every great player, athletically great player, doesn't want to be led or doesn't want to always buy in. Mm-hmm. So when LeBron is able to get people to buy in, that's why I like him too. I like him, and I like the work that he does off the court. So he has a serving mentality as well. So yeah.
Listen, so you with KD? I'm guessing you KD.
No, I ain't going no KD.
LeBron.
I'm LeBron. He done dropped the ball too many times. He done blew the money too many times.
One thing I can say about LeBron makes you know players that you would not know their name if they hadn't played with him, right? At all. They 9 times out of 10 don't win championships when he leaves them. Right. Their economy takes a hit. Cleveland, even us in Miami. Yeah. So this guy, what he brings to the table is a tad bit different. And we got so used to watching his greatness that when he plays subpar, it's still a great game for somebody else. But we look at him as, man, that was weak. He just scored 25, 10, and 10. How is that weak? So, we got to appreciate the greatness that we have in front of us, but we don't. But it's a lot of people that don't win championships if they're not playing on that guy's team. Mr. Irvin, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a LeBron fan.
Hey, Cassandra said.
I don't, but okay. Hey, she hard on my guy. Yeah, she hard on him. I mean, people get hard on him because he switched teams a few times. Hey, and everybody's not going to be like Michael, really played most of his career with the Chicago Bulls, or like Kobe, who played all of his career with the Lakers. Everybody's not going to do it that way, but to be able to take your skills on different platforms and still be successful. Hey, now we're not talking about MJ today. We're not talking about MJ today. But we appreciate you, Dan. Anything you want to say before you leave?
I appreciate you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate you guys for giving me that confidence to walk what I already know. So I appreciate that. I definitely keep that in mind. And if y'all in Fort Worth, Texas, check me out on Facebook and IG Gant Sports. Just type in Gant Sports.
Yeah, you offer training. Yeah, y'all check her out. We'll put that.
What's your website?
Gant on www.gantsports.com, and on IG just Gant GANT Sports.
All right. Make it happen.
Check it out. You want some training out there in Texas? Mm-hmm. Coach Gant got you covered. Gant got you covered. We appreciate you, man. Many blessings to you and your team, your family, and we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight.
I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Right, take care.
Walk in that light, man. Walk in that light.
I don't know how to hang it up, so y'all gonna have to hang it up.
I got you.
All right.
Hey, man. Hey, awesome guest. And you know what? I love to see people that lead with their heart, which is which you can just tell. You know what I'm saying? But definitely want her to walk in that light because she has one.
Yeah. Sometimes we want to dim our light because it's too bright for other people, but that's not our concern. Love you too, sis. Appreciate you so much. But that's not our concern because my light is so bright. I'm not gonna allow you to dim it. Better put on some shades because it's light coming through, baby. It's light coming through. You're gonna see all this shine. you know, in all my humbleness, but you about to see all this shine, you know. That's
Right.
how it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, man, I love our supporters because y'all comment. I love it. I'm gonna take y'all back to this chat that y'all just had about this guy playing on a few teams because Nicole said a few teams.
Come on, man. Y'all cut LB some slack, man. Y'all cut y'all be
Who said
hard
we?
on him, man.
KD a few teams.
Yeah,
KD
yeah.
a few
Hey,
teams.
KD chased the ring. He chased the ring. Now anybody talking about Draymond Green, just did y'all hear what Draymond Green said the other day? Quote, he told that man, you better bring the Brinks truck. I done brought 7 championships to this town. You better bring that truck. That boy say he want his money. He want his cash. So you better bring that cash, boy.
So Draymond want them to give the max.
Oh, you better bring it out. That man said, now you want me to go, and then threw in there, you want me to go over there and win some rings with LeBron? Boy, that boy he threw the whole thing at them. Like, oh, you want me to go over there and win some rings with LeBron? Like,
So
mm.
did he put the pressure on, or did he open the door for them to let him go? Which one do you think?
I think he put the pressure on. I think Curry's gonna want. I don't think he's a max player either. I mean, when somebody say he will get the EBT, Nicole said he gonna get the EBT.
Y'all hard on him.
I don't. I mean, I love what he brings. He's a hard nosed player, right? But
Yes.
there are other hard nosed. There's other people out there that can do that. He's not the LeBrons or the Currys or good player. Like he's a good player, Mo. Definitely not a max player. Definitely not. And then how are you gonna max him? You just get Curry. You got to get Clay right. I don't know. I don't
And
know how they
listen,
do it.
Wiggins played phenomenal for them in the
Wiggins
finals.
play. They better make sure they
Played
secure that
phenomenal.
bag. That's what they better do.
Wiggins
Because
played phenomenal, and they lost a lot of players. Gary Payton second. He got a contract elsewhere. It's a
a lot of
couple
people
players on that
cashed
roster.
in.
Yeah. Yes,
A lot of
absolutely.
people cashed in after that championship. Cashed in and got down those checks. Yeah. So triple single, dude. Triple single. Oh man, I can't do it with y'all, man. But y'all hard on people. A triple single. Yeah,
Hey,
T,
gotta
what we
love
gonna do
the
it there? What we gonna
listen,
do it
gotta
there?
love the fans. I gotta let them speak their mind. I cannot interrupt their feelings because I don't think they're telling lies.
Yeah, it's like asking Haslam for the max offer, right? Oh my goodness, they dirty, they dirty. But no, there's someone out there that can do what Draymond does, and I mean, and I'm not discrediting what he does because I feel like that is some valuable, hard nose, hard hat type of guy stuff. But there's some
Dennis
guys
Rodman,
that would love to get in there and get that opportunity. Yeah.
A Dennis
Oh,
Rodman type
sure.
of player.
Dennis Rodman, yeah, Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman without all the extra off court drama, So definitely, for sure.
Okay, okay. So
We'll,
now let
we'll,
me ask
we'll
you this
see.
because somebody brought up Haslam. He coming back,
I mean,
or what they
he's
doing?
just an extra coach. He's a coach in uniform, a coach in jersey because he could sit next to the players and be in the locker room and really, really talk. That talk with them, the experience. I mean, he's not causing any problems, so yeah, he'll be back. Right? Well, why not?
Turn into
Tickets
the
only like $1 million or something. What does he
turn,
get?
turn into the gym now. I could feel that spot with a player that can actually perform on the court versus paying him to be the player slash coach. We know the Heat will bring their players back to be a part of the organization and coach. So, what would you do, Pat Riley? Put on your GM hat, see?
Yeah, but nobody's what quality player am I gonna get? I don't think he's making a lot. He's making like the minimum, like maybe $1 million or something like. So you're not really getting he's not really hurting the budget,
Okay.
if that could put it that way. Having him in that role is not hurting the budget.
I'm with
So
Cassandra.
hmm?
I'm with Cassandra.
What you
Take
said?
that consultant.
You right. You right. You know. We have some pieces that we need to fill. Yeah, we lost, man. We lost a hard hat type of guy too. Where my guy went over to Philly, uh, Pinkney. Yeah, he went over to Philly. Pucker. went over to Philly. So we
Yeah,
lost
PJ Tucker.
Tucker. We lost a really hard-nosed guy that we got to fill that role too. We need another scorer out there that really can get in there and like Coach said, we need a big PJ Tucker, right, Mo? We need another big. We need hard nose. We got some things to fill, but what I do have is faith in Pat Riley.
All right.
When it looked like we done, he finds a way to CPR revitalize our team. So
I agree. I
I
agree
agree.
with
We
you.
need another star because I felt like Jimmy Butler wouldn't have taken that horrible shot had he had somebody else. He wouldn't have played all those minutes, and then he would have been sharper. You know, I don't care what anyone says. To play the entire game on that level is a difficult thing to do, and still be sharp, and still be
Not
sharp.
if you're not Batman.
But all right,
If you're not Batman, Robin can't do it, but Batman
yeah,
can.
Batman can. You got faith in Coach Spo, yeah, Javon? I don't know. I don't know.
You don't got faith in Coach Spo?
I mean, I got faith in, but not like that. Not like I have in Pat Riley. I mean, he hasn't. Spo hasn't done just magical things like Pat Riley has done. Like just magical. He
What?
just how he put that team together. Like this team that we just had. Nobody was thinking about us like that. Like he put that team together, and I was like, whoa, we were like kicking butt during the year. I'm like, I was surprised. So I think he's gonna come up with some nice tricks in the bag, and we'll be back again. You know, we'll see. Oh, let's talk about really quick before we go.
The
The
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Well, I know what you're gonna say because they hurt my heart right now, bro.
The man got suspended. How the coach get and right? And we got some draft picks taken away. Man, come on. What we gonna do with my Dolphins? Gonna be looking crazy this year.
Listen, you know, it might be a blessing because get him going on and let him sit his suspension out, and let's see how this machine works without him being present, because that might be something good and it might lead in another direction. I like the coach we have in place. I like what I've been seeing. I'm expecting great things as I do every year, but I just don't want them to break my heart. That's all I'm saying. But it might happen because I mean, remember when Flores went out? Flores opened up that dirty laundry. So looks like
Yeah,
it came to fruition. There we go. Yeah, there you go,
yeah.
Cassandra.
Told the truth. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate y'all, man, for the laughs. But you guys are hilarious. Hey, another great show, T. We had a great guest on. We want to encourage our young people. Like, you know, I can't say enough. Like, that's something near and dear. I just remember being that young person that I wanted somebody to speak life into me, and they did. So without that, you know, where would I be? Somebody just taking that time to speak life and tell me this. And so I'm so thankful for that, man. And we appreciate y'all so much. We said we fired a good coach, and we deserve what we got. We didn't have to fire that man, and we did not have to fire. I'm gonna get that off my chest. We did not have, but when you
We
don't
were
see
going in the right direction. We were going in the right
we
direction.
had to go. The owner and the head coach not seeing eye to eye. The owner and the GM was just holding on to his job. He just was trying to keep his own job. Like what you say, you know, just following what he said. So, hey, until next time, y'all remember, use the game. Don't let the game use you. Y'all be blessed. Stay safe. No monkeypox or anything. Be good out there, man. Until next time, we'll see y'all next week. We got some great guests coming on. And Nicole, we looking for you, buddy. Come on out. We're gonna have to get Coach Cassandra on there too. Talk a little basketball. Represent the ladies up in West Palm Beach. So yeah, we're gonna keep on pushing out some great content for y'all. Y'all be blessed.
All right, have a good one.